For tonight's True Scary Story, I got an email from a girl who said that she went to New Orleans and she thinks that she met a vampire and his vampire family. It is definitely one of the crazier stories that I have gotten. So tonight's story is pretty long, so I'm gonna have to talk pretty quickly, so bear with me. But tonight's submitter's name is Stacy, and she will be tagged in the description. She did say that I could tag her and use her real name. So Stacy was in New Orleans for a solo trip. She did this for a kind of recharge after a crazy few months. Bourbon Street was lit that night. Music pouring from every door, people everywhere. She ducked into this quiet jazz bar in between two louder spots. More shadows than light there, and that's where she saw him. He had these insanely bright blue eyes, not contacts, not even natural looking. They glowed under the dim bar light, almost electric. He was tall, very well dressed, smooth as hell, as she put it, and the name that he gave her, Malquette Creative. That's genuinely what he told her that his name was. He said that it was an artist name. She kind of just laughed this off and thought that maybe it was like a New Orleans thing. They had a few drinks, nothing crazy, but they clicked instantly. They talked about music, art, conspiracy theories about the world and earth, and even about vampires. She was the one that mentioned vampires, and when she did, he just laughed and changed the subject. That was the first red flag that she didn't notice. And they also talked about how weird and beautiful the city was. And he mentions that he lives a few blocks away, but that he's staying at a guest house, and this guest house that he's staying at is the same one that she is staying at. Total coincidence? She doesn't think so, but he said it was. She was on the second floor and he was on the third. Now she thought it was fate, or maybe too many drinks, but the next night he invited her over. He said his family was having a little gathering, super chill, just wine and good vibes. She hesitated because who invites somebody to a family gathering after one day? But there was something about those blue eyes. She said they literally pulled you in. Like when you looked at them, you could not say no. Almost like she needed to follow him no matter where he went, and like she needed to be with him, even though she just met this person. At this point, she's like instantly falling head over heels for this person, which was very odd to her, but she did say yes, she went. The house was big, old, Creole style, in Treme. High ceilings, iron balcony, smelled like old books and incense. But the moment she stepped in, she noticed that everybody in the room had those same glowing blue eyes. Every single one of them. That's when at that point she kind of was like, this shit is getting a little weird. There were 6 others, all elegant, all African American, and all like they stepped out of another time. The women wore flowing dresses, the men wore fitted suits, and they were sat around a long, dark wooden table. At the center of the table there were glasses full of something thick and red, which she assumed was wine. There were little decorations everywhere, which she just kind of laughed. She thought that this was like a themed dinner party. But no one else was laughing. In fact, the mother made a comment that she was being rude to Malquette. The mother then makes a comment, is like, she has to drink it now. And at this point, Stacy is like, drink what? And she literally says out loud, drink what? Water? What do I have to drink? And at this point, she's getting a little uncomfortable. So she's like, I'm not drinking anything. And Malquette looks at her and he goes, you can't leave until you drink. So Stacy just freezes. And then one of the women in the flowy dresses, she said she was beautiful, like ageless. She just pushes a glass towards her. And the woman looks at her and says, it's tradition. So Stacy at this point, being terrified, picks up the glass. It's warm, but not wine warm, body warm. The smell hit her first. Salt, copper, something's wrong. So now she's like, I'm uncomfortable, I want to leave. And Malquette's voice drops. He then says, it's rude to refuse what we share, especially since you've been invited. Now everyone's just staring, silent, still, just watching. And the mother looks at her and says, if you don't drink it, you're not leaving this house ever again. So Stacy at this point is absolutely terrified, and she does what the woman says, and she drinks it. Just a sip, and then she faints right away. She wakes up on the floor, she doesn't know how long afterwards, and everything is just normal. They were all laughing and making jokes and being super nice to her, and this made her even more uncomfortable. So she made an excuse and left somehow. She doesn't even remember walking back to the guest house. That night she wakes up vomiting, shaking, fever spiking. She said her skin literally felt like it was burning from the inside out, and that she truly believes that whatever that was from a fresh body. At this point, she fully believes these people are vampires. She immediately goes to the hospital the next day, and the doctors run blood tests. They asked her if she had traveled anywhere exotic or taken anything, because her blood work came back off. Low blood cell count, organ strain, and something they said that they have never seen before. Her blood had been altered, was their words, not hers. She stayed for 3 days. She literally felt like she was being unalive. But then one of the nurses noticed a cut on the back of her leg that she hadn't seen before. It was actually pretty deep, but she did not need stitches, and she was so upset that she actually wanted to go find him and confront him and talk to him. But she couldn't find him, and she never saw him ever again. And she knows that this sounds crazy, but that cut on the back of her leg, she truly believes was from them, and she thinks that they took blood from her. She obviously couldn't tell the hospital any of this, but when she got out of the hospital, she actually went back to that house, and the house was gone. Not physically gone, but abandoned. Boarded up, dust everywhere, cobwebs. No signs that anyone had lived there for years. She even asked one of the neighbors. One guy told her that the house had not been lived in since Katrina. Her blood literally ran cold, and she got goosebumps. Because she's thinking to herself, I was just there. I saw them. I drank that awful drink. She says that she doesn't care what anybody says. She knows that it tasted and smelled like copper, like it was she said. She said that she stopped telling the story after that because nobody believes her except for a few people, but she knows that my community will believe her, which I know that you guys will too. So she really just wants your guys' advice. She wants to know what you guys think happened here. Please be respectful because she does have PTSD from this. She said it was incredibly traumatizing and extremely weird. So be respectful, be nice, but just give her your opinions, your suggestions, and what you think about the story. And that's crazy that she had to go to the hospital because of it. And I can't even imagine if that's really what it was, even if they weren't vampires, like, and they just were people that drink, they gave her. That is super dangerous, super dangerous. But with that being said, now I'm gonna go into my favorite part, which is the shout outs. My first shout out is going to Jason Kemmerlin. You left the nicest comment underneath my video yesterday, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for your support and your kind words and just your words of encouragement. They truly mean so much to me. I love it when people are kind in my comments and towards each other or towards me, and that was just so supportive and so encouraging and kind, and I love you. Thank you so much. My next shout out is going to KBug286. You said that the best part of your night is when I upload, and that means everything to me because I watch scary stories every single night to fall asleep to, and it's honestly what I look forward to every single night, and I just love that I am that for somebody else. And thank you for telling me that. That was so kind of you, and it means so much to me to have your support and that you watch my videos and comment and push them out. You have no idea. So thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for being kind, and thank you for being a part of my little community. I love you. And for those of you who are wondering about my new account, which I am starting, by the way, I'm just gonna leave this one for 2 weeks. I will be back to this one. There's a reason why I'm not starting it right this second, because of something that has been happening in the past 2 days. So just bear with me. It's going to happen, and as soon as it happens, I'm gonna let you guys know exactly which account it is. For those of you who keep asking me, you're the absolute best, and I love you so much for your support. Thank you. You have no idea what it means to me. But with that being said, my name is Kaisa, and I tell true scary stories on here every single night that you guys submit to me. So if you're into that, hit that follow button, and I just need you to do 3 things for me. And what are those? I need you to keep sending me your scary stories. I need you to have a safe night. And what's the third one? Say it with me. Have a spooky night. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Spooky kisses and haunted hugs.